Is your empathy causing you to block your intuition? Empathy as sensitives is one of our superpowers, but if we're overly empathic, we end up taking on the emotions of the people that surround us, causing us to feel ungrounded, causing us to block our intuition and overthink. So in this video, I'm gonna share with you some tools to stay grounded in your body and to use your empathy to connect instead of overthink. Hi, I'm Sonia. I'm a fourth generation intuitive, and I teach you how to plug back into your innate divine self, your intuition. And today we're talking about empathy, one of our intuitive family friends' greatest superpower. But too much empathy can cause us to take on other people's emotion, disconnect us from our intuition, and even erode at our relationships. So let's dive in. But before so, if you're new here, don't forget to hit subscribe, like. If you're back, welcome back. And as always, I also just want to share with you that I am starting a group class at the beginning of May, which I am so excited about. So if you want to learn intuitive development, want to build a spiritual community, check out the link below to sign up for my waiting list. I can't wait to see you there. So, empathy. Empathy is our ability to connect, understand, and feel other people's emotional pain. And empathy is a beautiful way that we can not only see, but validate other people's experiences. But one thing that I saw this week with so many of my different reading clients and my mentoring clients was empathy gone too far. And when empathy goes too far, what happens is we energetically take on other people's pain. We end up trying to create solutions for them. And on top of it, it actually is a form of control. So what do? How do I not get stuck in empathy overload? Well, first of all, empathy, and when we are sensitive, oftentimes we feel different people's emotions in our bodies. I know I do. I am terrible at watching movies. Last week I was watching Euphoria and I literally had to go for a walk around the block to shake off the energy. But when we are connected so much to other people, and especially as psychic channels, when our hearts are open, our cells are open, we can take on other people's pain as our own and want to fix, manage, figure it out. But two things. First of all, that says, I don't trust your spirit. I might not trust somebody with the actual problem, but when we can turn things over to their higher self, to their spirit, and say, you can figure it out. Not only does that create trust, but create space where we can actually listen and be available. To understand somebody also means that we have to be in a state of non-reactivity. That means that the things that come in, that we have to be grounded, connected to our physical bodies, to our support systems, to home number one. And oftentimes when we're overly empathic and when we feel things too much, that psychic sensitivity has been a way that's been able to serve us. If we've grown up in a tumultuous home, it was a way that we could kind of figure out what was going on. But when we get too much into other people's energies and outside of our own bodies, it's like being a beautiful house with all of the windows and doors open. Squatters move in, and those squatters are the people around you who end up either taking too much of your energy, not respecting your boundaries, calling you at all hours of the night, and actually it blocks our intuitive guidance because we're constantly trying to figure out how to help somebody else instead of minding our own business. Rule number one of being able to trust and listen to our intuition is we have to be grounded in our physical bodies, the container where we sense things. And second of all, where we have to be present. So there's a tool that I learned from my mom called observe, don't absorb. And that means that you observe the energy, you observe what's going on, you observe somebody else's reaction, their stories, their pain, but you don't absorb the energy. And a simple way that you can do that, if you're with somebody who's what I call an energy vampire or in a very big place, cross your hands over your solar plexus and even just gently turn your body away. That allows for energy to not get trapped in your own physical body. Second of all, make sure not to give unsolicited advice. this can be really challenging, especially when you're somebody who has a lot of tools and resources and when your natural inclination is to help. But when we end up overly giving different advice and support and different things, one, oftentimes people don't listen because they aren't actually genuinely available to do something different. They just want to download. And two, we also don't allow them to figure it out themselves. So a good question to ask if you're with somebody is, do you want me to listen or do you want advice? That's also a way in our own empathic nature that we can even just tune in with the person next to us who's beside us, who's sharing. 3, practice non-reactive judgment. Even if something comes in and it gives you a little electric shock in your body, take a deep breath in through your nose, exhale like you're exhaling 10 birthday candles, and feel the sensations of your physical body in your chair or wherever you are. That will help you root back into the present moment, root you back into availability and elasticity. And 4, if you are really get sucked up into what is, what I call a psychic attack, then, which means that like you just feel it so much in your body and you can't shake it off, whether it's a boss or a relationship or anything like that, go for a walk. When we move our energy, it allows us to get out of what happens of overthinking, trying to figure it out, mental chatter, and actually go to the root of being able to say, wow, these are things that matter to me. These are my values. These are things that I care about, and I can use compassion and space in order to be able to listen. The way that being overly empathic blocks our intuition is that, first of all, we don't see the person who's in front of us as a divine co-creator. We don't see them as capable. And that means that I don't trust you. I don't trust you to figure it out. I don't trust you to manage. And what that secretly translates to is I don't trust the universe. I don't trust my higher self. I don't trust my guides. And so in ways that we can start to come back to not only our practice, but building that place of trust is by even just using the affirmation, I trust my spirit and I trust yours. Just recently, I had a client who was working with her family and she really wanted to move and do business as a farmer. And unfortunately for her, she was so connected to her family and felt so deeply their pain, they're trying to figure it out as their family farm shifted, that she constantly ignored her own intuition as a way to try and be responsible for her family. And what it did was it not only blocked her way, but caused her to doubt herself, doubt her own intuition, and doubt the people that surrounded her. So in just small acts of faith, also just recognize that people have got this far. They can figure it out. So if you're somebody who's super empathic, remember, take a breath, ground back into your body. Recognize that it's not totally your experience or your responsibility, and you can listen with an open, gracious heart, be aware and understand, but also that they possess the power, the tools, and if they need help, they can often even ask you for different resources. So check in with yourself. Are you overgiving? Do your relationships feel one-sided? Do you feel like you're constantly giving advice? Are you resentful? That's a good clue to check in if you're being overly empathic, overly giving. And then give yourself some space, give yourself some grounded boundaries, give yourself some choice to be available, to be kind-hearted, to be heart-centered, but not to take on energy that isn't yours because it doesn't serve you and it doesn't serve them. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit like, hit subscribe. Don't forget, like I said, I am also teaching a workshop at the end of the month, so check the links below. Check out my new group class. Don't forget to take my intuitive quiz. I have podcasts with my family. I have tons and tons and tons of resources for you. So check them all out below. I am sending you all my love. And if you'd like to send me a message, please do so and send me an email, sonia@soniatully.com. I would love to hear from you. Sending you all my love. Bye.